Anxiety. What is anxiety? Every thought in your head that starts with what if has tendency to become anxiety. Small or big, anxiety that you can deal with or that needs a medical attention, it can all start with what if. I learned, and this is how I'm teaching my 12-year-old daughter, because children starting to have those thoughts so early today, we have to stop that. We have to cut the roots. This seed is sown today in very early stage, and you just have to cut it by being observant and paying attention. What if I have COVID-19? What if you have cancer? You don't know that you have cancer until there are some symptoms that show up, which you go to check. Then there is 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, and you get diagnosed. You have cancer when you know that you have cancer. Okay? Which I pray to God that you don't. So COVID-19, many people are freaking out because they're not allowed to be tested. There is not enough test kits. There is not, organization is terrible. Governments, they're not doing their job properly. Not everybody who coughs or sneezes or has a fever can be tested. That's terrible. I heard many stories about it. I'm not being mean. Calm down. It's okay. Even if you're not tested, that's okay. You have to just change perspective. For example, you get tested, you get the paper, oh, you have COVID-19. What then? What will you do? There is no cure for COVID-19. Okay, so you sit at home, you lower your fever, temperature, you're taking medications for cough, for your throat, for your pains, and you're just basically resting. You're taking loads of vitamins to boost up your immune system, and you wait. Because at the moment, we don't know a lot about it. And that's what makes you panic. You are not in control. Because humans, they like to be in control. When they're in control, they have this false sense of security. And now they're not in control. But what other people are in control by putting you in the state of you're not in control. Cure for that is relaxation. Cure for that is so what? When you hear something like, what if? You answer, so what? Okay? What if? So what? Like you're fighting with some person that you don't particularly like, So remember that. Teach this your children because they're fighting anxieties in their head already now without you even knowing it. So, perspective, very important because at the same time, in the world is crazy. There are people who are absolutely taking advantage of the situation and are really actually enjoying it. And there are people who are terrified, who are going through literally hell in their heads, which is affecting them financially, which is causing them to probably fight a lot in between their four walls. And my worst fear is that actually domestic violence is gonna be increased because more families are living, let me just say, not good and blessed lives in their homes. And when you lock people and families like that inside with spouses who cannot stand each other, children who are there watching it, I'm afraid bad things can happen. So it's important that you take care of your own head because not your children and neither your spouse is responsible for your behavior. Shopping malls are closed, pubs and bars are closed. So there are no places where men and women can run away from the reality, which they usually do on an everyday basis. There are no places where they can go and satisfy that emptiness in themselves, women by shopping what they don't need, men by drinking, or the other way around, of course. I'm not generalizing here, but just trying to put it all simple. So they're stuck at home with each other. And anxiety, depression, and any kind of mental health can become very dangerous. So for you to keep your sanity is, you don't need to be tested for COVID-19. Just be kind, be selfless, okay? And trust your instincts. You developed symptoms, lower your fever, eat properly, cook food, soups, boost your immune system, like loads of fruits, vitamins, take something for your sore throat, and just pay attention to your breathing. If anything you feel it's like dangerous, they're like shortness of breath, or your little children are like not eating, are being very weak and playful, like I would just, of course, react and bring them to emergency. Like, because if you have COVID-19 and those symptoms, they would still send you home and tell you to do that. And they would admit to hospitals, these people who are part of this high risk group. Yeah, did I say it right? I did. So they need to be monitored better. They need to be monitored by professionals, okay? Because their health is threatened. If you're younger age, if you survive this, okay? It's actually, trust your instincts, okay? Like, calm down, do something, bake something, watch series on Netflix, pray. I pray, meditate, whatever works for you. But it's time that you work on your brain. Yes, try and not stress out your children that are home from school for so long. Do some work at home, but do not stress them out. Do not start planting in their heads, have to, should, you must. That leads to, you'll get anxiety. Lots of have to, lots of must, lots of you should, lots of this is a strange time for them as well. I think it's important to kind of encourage them to maintain a discipline. Discipline, like not sleeping long hours in the morning, like just being all lazy. When they wake up, what I do, I usually we set time for 10 o'clock that there is a school that's starting for our Laura. She's 12, and then she like gets up around 8. She even likes to get up earlier, but she has her breakfast, she takes out her dog, she then looks at her phone a bit, and then she has to make her bed, she has to brush her teeth, put on her clothes, and she sits and she starts doing homework. And then she has her break, as she would have it in the school. And so we keep that until like also like 3 o'clock, like normal times. And of course we can nothing. We restricted screen time, like she would have it during the school days, 1 hour midweek, hour and a half of screen time during the weekends. We also like one whole day my husband is spending with our kids, taking care of the house. He's making lunch, he's teacher to Laura, and taking care of our baby. And I'm actually here in our bedroom office trying to do things that I like to do, to talk about mental health and to work on my another project which is completely not related to this one, that maintains my mental health, because I'm not only a mother and a wife and a housewife, I'm a woman as well. Next day, my husband is going to be locked down in this room, and he's going to be doing his projects, looking for jobs, studying and doing everything that he likes, while I'm going to take care of the house and the kids and be a teacher to my daughter. So don't forget to go out. We go out in the nature for a quick walk, only our family, and we love it. And we breathe in the fresh air, whether it's sunny or not. There is no danger in that. Keep yourself inside these 2 kilometers that the government advise you to do so. So don't stress out your children with lots of work. It's stressful time for them as well. And maybe use this time. It's more important that they maintain discipline of going to bed, getting up, Laura is doing lots of chores at home as well. Try to get to know your children. That's more important than stuffing them with information. There is one great ability within humans. That's the ability to change. I'm talking about to change yourself, not others. This is the part you like the most. I know you like to change others. We like to blame others. We like to live in the past. Somebody's always guilty for the situations we at the moment are. I'm not going to discuss that now, but just try and think about it, that that's actually not true. Like, you're just making excuses. And while you're making excuses, you're not progressing in your life. So the great ability that you have within yourself is the ability to change. I love that part. So there is God's ability to change others, and only possible to Him. So even if it comes to your children, to your parents, to your spouses, you cannot change them. You'll get sick by trying to do so. Only God can change other people. No matter how intimate you are with someone, or no matter how much you know someone, or you think that you know them just because you spend years and decades with them, that doesn't make these people your people. No, you cannot treat them whichever way you want. Okay, you're not entitled to them just because you gave birth to kids. So who are you to change others? But I like the fact that we can change ourselves. I was a proud person. I have ego. I have and had all this within me, you know. And but the moment I realized that I can change myself, that's a great power. And then my life started to change. When all this became really hysterical, and I started noticing that I'm on Facebook, I'm starting to watch all these like jokes about COVID-19, but I end up on like some news, some serious like articles and this and that. 15 minutes reading that, and they have me. They have me. My mood changes. I start being like, oh my God, what if, you know? And I decided, whenever I need news, whenever I need facts, I go onto my government official page, which in Ireland is, I think, www.gov.ie. I read the latest update on what has government decided that we're allowed to do and not allowed to do, because I don't want to go out and get arrested and, you know, all these things. So it's important for me to know what am I allowed to do today, what am I not. So I just obey that. I'm the one going to shop always, many times. So that's it. But I'm a hero in my family. I'm actually a hero, you know. Whenever I go to the shop, it's like saying goodbye to my family, you know, because I'm the hero. I'm bringing the food. So anyway, yeah. So be selfless. Be selfless. Think about the people whose children have, I don't know, terrible diagnosis. They need advantage, okay? And you don't need to be tested to overcome COVID-19. Let them be with these tests. You don't need to like this government to obey the rules. It's just like, have respect, because it's easy to be smart when we're not at their positions. It's easy to question someone's decisions when these people were struggling to make the right decisions, and then we just sit here like drinking beer in front of the TV, like, they're not supposed to do that, or they should have done that. We say in Croatia, it's easy to be general after the battle, you know. So let them do what they have to do. Bless them. The country who is very stable country, like who has all its system working great, today with this pandemic is struggling. I'm talking a really good developed countries who have their all systems working great. For example, Ireland is having difficulties for a long time with this within its health. Oh my God, how do you say that? Health within this health area. What's wrong with me? So lack of staff, lack of beds, lack of all the time you can listen about it. And imagine like the country who already was fighting with these issues is faced with pandemic, and professionals and just ordinary people like myself showing up with their videos and opinions and theories, and they have the knowledge about super spiritual people have this stamp of the beast knowledge and theories, and like scientists, they have developed like how there is another actually airborne virus that is actually what's going on, and that they're putting all this poles and 5G networks, and they're all gonna kill us with it. Possible. I've seen some of them. Something is weird going on the streets. This theory can be supported with lots of facts as well, us being locked down, but could be, I said. Another one is this new world order that they're talking about like since, I don't know, really long time ago. The world is changing, and after everything is gone, it's gonna, the fact is everything is gonna be changed. So there is a possibility that there is some kind of a new order that it's gonna be here. Could be, I say to myself. But why I reach for God in these moments? You know why? God said that all of this is gonna happen, and I can read about it, I can meditate on it, I can analyze it. I don't do it. I read Bible. I believe in God. I believe in Jesus Christ being the Lord and the Savior, and that He's gonna come back, but I still don't do it. Because no one knows the times but the Father. When is it gonna happen? I acknowledge that something is going on, that something is fishy there, that there are really loads of possibilities. And the Bible even says that we're gonna, at the end of the times, that we're gonna have a huge knowledge. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Everybody has their own knowledge. But I reached for God because it affected me as well, you know. I watch news once per day just because it's okay to know what's going on in your country and in the world. But once per day, I don't scroll Facebook and all the social media stuff. I also said to myself, Andrea, from what you know, is that God said that all this is gonna happen. If I am like listening to everything that are telling me today, then it seems like I'm stuck. I'm either gonna get virus and die, or maybe survive, or I'm gonna get microchip because Bill Gates is working on it apparently. None of this kind of gives me, calms me down. You know what calms me down? It's gonna be whatever it's gonna be. So try and think of it that you maybe survive COVID-19, but like maybe you're just gonna be walking next day and something falls on your head and you're dead. Okay, I don't want to scare you, but that's the fact. Like, laugh about it. Life is unpredictable, and that's the beauty of it. And so when I say God spoke about it, you being Christians, Catholics, or whoever, you have the Bible. Like, so if you declare yourself as being one, I encourage you to actually reach now for God. Okay, God is not to be like just praised, or He doesn't look for your sacrifices on your everyday basis, that you're just something that you do. This is the situation you actually challenge your God, okay, with all that He promised to you. So why? Because God doesn't want you to have this cold relationship with a statue. He really wants you to feel that He can help you in the time of COVID-19. Okay? Also, people are blaming God, but they don't need God in their everyday life. They found substitute for every single feeling or emotion they have difficulties with. Anxiety cured by alcohol or drug, or women go and do shopping in, I don't know, whichever shop, and they buy t-shirts for €1 just that they buy something, you know. Imagine how little power over your actions you actually have. Use this time, because God wants to give you the power that nothing can shake you. Not even COVID-19. Whatever comes my way, I will not be shaken, you know? And I've been in hell with my mental health. I was shaking literally, but I will not be shaken. I have that power, okay? I don't have a promise that nothing bad will ever happen, like that I will not experience any afflictions. God actually said that I will have loads of tribulations and afflictions while I'm in this world. But what He said is that that Jesus overcame that, and that He will lead me through this all. So I'm also not the type of people who knows each book, each number, each verse in the Bible, like that I can quote you, oh, book of this, verse that. I admire those people because they're obviously spending more time with Bible than I am. But I know that it's written there. That's my power. When I know that I read it somewhere and I'm gonna like scroll, Google it, or search for it, because I want to tell the devil, you know what? Jesus who won. You know, you remember the fight you two had? Like, Jesus won. I just want you to remember that Jesus you say that you believe in, like, He won. Okay, He won this battle. He didn't say, oh, Andrea will never get sick. Andrea will never face mental health issues, because Andrea is no better than any of you. Okay? I'm divorced. I was a single mom. I was in a war. I was abused. As a child, I had an abusive partner. I had a relationship with a narcissist. I had loads of baggage. Okay? So I could blame God and say, come on, I was falling in churches because of you. I believed in you. I repented. I accepted Jesus. You still did that to me. God didn't say that. God said that He will lead me through all of this. Bird, what I see that the whole nation, whole world, all of us are like one child who is misbehaving. This child forgot to wash their hands with soap and water. This child failed to have manners, like when queuing in banks, when queuing at the counters, you have to step away from a person and give them privacy. Do not breathe over their neck. Do not kiss and hug everybody, because they're not your people. It doesn't mean you don't like them. It doesn't mean you cannot like them. Do not kiss and hug and touch everybody and everything. When you sneeze and cough, try not to wash and shower everybody in front of you by just putting your hand, or the elbow is the newest one, over your mouth. So this huge population of people is just one child that is misbehaving. And what does Father do? He needs to teach us. He needs to teach us what is important. It's not important to buy stuff. This is what you don't need from life. Going to shops, buying, rushing for your works. Work more. Relax. This child is constantly complaining, where is God? Where is God? Well, you've been asking for Him, but you cannot hear Him. How will you hear Him in the shopping mall? How will you hear Him in the pub? So now that you're in lockdown, just listen to your heart. I'm not saying you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to do that, and then God will respond, because I don't know how God will respond to you. But what I know, that there is a strength within yourself to calm down and to hear from God. I love that. I don't know about you, but I just love, even I'm a mother and I'm adult, I just love the idea of someone bigger taking care of me as well. Because when you're adult, you think that you have to sort out everything, but you don't. I know that you also need someone to take care of you. Even though you're married, you left mother and father, you have your own children to take care of. All the responsibilities of this world are on your backs. I know that inside of you is this child who needs help. That's why you face so many difficulties, because you think you're not entitled to help. Yeah, I just found this verse. It says, I have said these things to you, that in me you may have peace. In the world you will have tribulation, but take heart, I have overcome the world. So yeah, I like to believe that Jesus had the fight with the devil, and he won. He won. And we still live in this world where devil is operating, you know. But if I come to him and I say, listen, man, like, you are ashamed, you know, like, you remember the fight between you and Jesus where you lost. I want you just to remember that. And when I have that approach, my anxiety, my depression, my whole hard and difficult life and self-pity, gone. COVID-19, if I get it, I'll do my best that is in my human brain, that I know about the sickness and diseases, to cure myself, to cure my loved ones. But at the end, God will say, when is the end for me? You cannot do anything about it. You don't know when is the end of times for you. And that's the beauty of it. I'm telling you, the beauty of it, that you accept it, okay? That you're like, wow, look at this beautiful sky. These birds, listen to the birds, listen to the river. Everything will continue. Everything will continue. Enjoy it. Enjoy. This is heaven that you can have even during the pandemic. And just a little more, just a little fact that I also want to share. I didn't want to, of course, record so long, but my husband would say, what did you think? Like, that you're gonna talk for 5 minutes? Well, I wanted to, but... So when you're panicking, I just wanted to give you a few facts. So they're giving us these statistics. Today, so many died, so many hospitalized, so many kids died. They're posting these terrible photos of children in hospitals. And when they bombing you with all these statistics, like so many people died in Italy, so many people died there, so many people... I will not be too smart about it, okay? But when you're panicking about numbers, make sure that you always have numbers to compare it to something. Because 5 people in Croatia, which is a small country, and 5 people in UK saying that 5 people died there and there, it's a huge difference. You understand why? Because these 2 countries are so different in everything. Okay, so when I heard about statistics about so many people died, COVID-19 there, COVID-19 there, hospitalized, ICU, not ICU, kids, elderly, but even the young age group. I just used Google, which I'm sure use for all other symptoms that you have. And I'm gonna tell you one thing. 10 million, I have papers. 10 million people annually die from cancer. 10 million people annually die from cancer. 17.9 million people per year die from, this is cardiovascular diseases, so heart attacks and strokes. Almost 18 million people per year die from strokes and heart attacks. And I think, yeah, flu, just the ordinary flu that many of us don't even want to get vaccinated from. 646,000 deaths per year from flu. So 650,000 deaths per year from flu only. And now my final sticker. It's actually not final. Close to 1 million people die every year due to suicide. 1 year. Close to 1 million people kill themselves because of some underlying mental health issues, traumas, anything, anxiety, depression, PTSD, eating disorders, etc., etc. 1 million people. Seriously. Yeah, and final paper. 88,000 deaths from COVID-19. That's something I'm gonna finish with. I'm not saying it's not sad, it's not serious. I'm just trying to say, calm down. And I'm gonna use my God and His word again on that. And Psalm 91. You will not fear the terror of the night, nor the arrow that flies by day, nor the pestilence that stalks in darkness, nor the destruction that wastes at noonday. 1,000 may fall at your side, 10,000 at your right hand, but it will not come near you. You will only look with your eyes and see the recompense of the wicked, because you have made the Lord your dwelling place, the Most High, who is my refuge. No evil shall be allowed to befall you, no plague come near your tent. In those times, plague was a pandemic. Coincidence, right? Oh, this video is gonna be so long. It's gonna take so much time to upload this. So start by changing and restarting your brain, first of all. I think I found what I